I always thought night shifts would be boring. I was wrong. I took the job at St. Helena Memorial Hospital right after college, mostly because the pay was decent and the town was small. Nobody talked much about the hospital except in passing. The kind of gossip you'd hear over coffee, whispers about patients who died unexpectedly, old wing closures, and strange smells drifting through the halls at night. I didn't care. I was young, stubborn, and convinced none of it could happen to me. I quickly learned how wrong I was. The hospital had been partially renovated, but the West Wing was old, barely used, and rumored to have been closed for decades after some accident nobody would clearly explain. My job was simple: assist in the records office and occasionally check the patients' rooms during the night. Nothing dangerous, nothing exciting. The first few hours were quiet. I walked the hallways, checking doors, answering the occasional call bell, and sipping lukewarm coffee from the break room. By 2 a.m., the hallways were deathly silent. The fluorescent lights flickered occasionally, and the hum of the old ventilation system was the only sound. Then I heard it, a faint scraping coming from the old wing. I froze, telling myself it was probably a cart rolling on uneven tiles or a janitor down the hall. But no one was supposed to be there, not at this hour. I tried to ignore it. I told myself that nothing could happen in a hospital in the 21st century. Curiosity or stupidity got the better of me. I walked toward the West Wing, my flashlight cutting through the darkness, the beam trembling slightly in my hand. The door at the end of the hall was half open. I pushed it, and the smell hit me immediately. Damp wood, rust, and something metallic, almost like blood, but not fresh, not exactly. My stomach twisted. The hall inside was lined with old patient rooms, their doors hanging open, peeling paint, and broken floor tiles. I felt eyes on me. I knew it. A door at the far end creaked, slow and deliberate. I couldn't tell if it was the wind. The flashlight flickered, and then I heard a whisper, soft, almost pleading. "Don't come here." I wanted to run, but something made me step closer. The whisper led me to room 7, an old patient room with rusted bed rails and a mattress stained yellow-brown. The door was cracked open. Inside, the room was empty, except for a chair in the corner, rocking slowly. I froze. The chair had no one sitting in it. I swear I could see it move in a way a chair shouldn't. And then I heard the breathing, shallow, uneven, and close. My heart thudded in my chest. I thought about calling the security desk, but my voice caught in my throat. I stepped forward. A shadow moved across the room, stretching impossibly along the wall. The air dropped 10 degrees instantly. I shivered. My flashlight flickered again, and I saw it. A figure crouched in the corner, skin pale, eyes hollow, wearing what might have been a hospital gown decades old, tilted its head toward me. Its mouth opened slowly, as if to speak, but nothing came out, just a distorted, wet gurgle. I ran. I tried to get back to the main corridor, but the hallways had changed. Doors that hadn't been there moments ago blocked my path. The fluorescent lights flickered violently, some going out entirely. I could hear footsteps echoing behind me, slow, deliberate, and wet, like someone dragging something heavy. I turned a corner and came face to face with a patient cart, empty, rolling toward me as if pushed by an invisible hand. I jumped back, tripping over a cable and hitting the floor hard. My flashlight skidded across the tiles, casting long, jagged shadows on the walls. From the darkness, a voice whispered, "You shouldn't be here." I scrambled to my feet and ran. The hospital's layout seemed impossible now. Hallways looping, doors appearing where there were none, the walls closing in slightly, like the building itself was alive. Eventually, I found myself at the old morgue door, which I didn't remember seeing before. It was ajar, a faint light spilling out, and I could hear something inside. Scraping, dragging, low moans that turned into muffled whispers. I should have turned back. I should have left immediately. But something, a morbid curiosity I could never explain, made me open it. Inside, the drawers of the morgue were open, some completely empty, others occupied. Faces, pale and unrecognizable, stared at me with mouths frozen in silent screams. One drawer had nothing but a wet, dark stain on the metal. Another moved. The dragging sound got louder. The moaning became a chorus of whispers, hundreds of them, coming from everywhere at once. And then I saw it. The figure again, crawling along the floor, limbs twisted in ways no human should be able to. His eyes locked on mine. It hissed my name. I ran, slamming the door behind me. I burst into the break room, heart pounding, sweat soaking my shirt. For a moment, I thought I was safe. But then the lights went out completely, and the humming started. Low, terrible, like dozens of voices chanting in perfect unison. I fumbled for my phone to call someone, anyone, but it was dead. No signal, no battery. I was alone. Then I heard the whispers right behind me, soft at first, then frantic. "You can't leave. You're ours now." I bolted toward the emergency exit. The doors, which should have been unlocked, were welded shut, as if the building itself refused to let me go. I don't remember how I got out. One second I was running, the next I was outside in the freezing night air, heart racing, clothes torn. When I looked back, the hospital seemed normal. Fluorescent lights hummed steadily. Doors lined the halls. Nothing appeared out of place. I quit the job immediately. I moved out of town. I told friends and family nothing because no one would believe me. But sometimes, late at night, I see St. Helena Memorial in my dreams. I'm back inside the West Wing, the corridors twisting impossibly. The whispers return, calling my name. The chair rocks. The pale figure waits in the corner, tilting its head, mouth opening in that silent scream. And when I wake up, I can still hear the faint humming, low, persistent, calling me back. I've tried to tell myself it was stress, sleep deprivation, my imagination. But every once in a while, when the wind howls through my window, I hear the scraping behind the walls of my apartment. And I know it's just waiting,